this, man.
Because that's an insult. All the work I put in, you don't name them people like
Shaquille O'Neal didn't hold back when responding to the idea of Kevin Durant being part of the GOAT conversation. During a podcast appearance, he completely dismissed that claim, reacting in a way that made it clear he wasn't taking it seriously at all. For a while, Durant has been mentioned in discussions alongside legends like Michael Jordan, and LeBron James, thanks to his championships, finals, MVPs, and elite scoring ability. But Shaq quickly shut down that comparison, brushing it aside and making it clear he doesn't agree with placing Durant in that all-time GOAT debate.
He's free throw shooter. He missed dunks. He airball free throws. He can't shoot. He couldn't shoot outside the paint. He's bigger than everybody. He had any skills, but he was bigger and stronger than everybody. And he's still a great player there. You had your flaws too as a
0. Shaquille O'Neal didn't just reject the idea of Kevin Durant being in the GOAT debate. He made it clear he sees him in a completely different tier, grouping him with highly skilled players who never quite reached the absolute top of the game's history, a stance coming from someone with 4 championships and years of experience at the highest level. The situation also ties back to an old rivalry that traces to 2017, when tensions first started during the era of Shaqtin' a Fool, the segment on Shaqtin' a Fool, where Shaq often joked about JaVale McGee, and his on-court mistakes, something many brushed off as comedy until Durant, then with the Golden State Warriors, stepped in and criticized Shaq's comments as unfair and immature. Durant didn't stop there either, later challenging Shaq's overall skill set by pointing out his weaknesses like free throws and perimeter game, arguing that his dominance came mostly from physical size rather than pure skill, which quickly escalated the disagreement into a real public feud between the two.
O'Neal told Golliver, quote, "He can't talk to me like that. He may think he does and he's sticking up for his teammate. He's a great player, but you ain't in the club yet. You're on the outside in line with Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, and John Stockton. You're not in the club with me and those championship guys. That's why I tweeted him, mind your business."
What made things stand out even more was the timing. Kevin Durant was speaking critically about a 4-time champion like Shaquille O'Neal at a point when he himself hadn't yet won a title, which made his comments feel especially bold to many fans and analysts. Durant was pointing out Shaq's weaknesses while still trying to prove he could eventually carry a team to a championship, which added even more intensity to the debate around him. Shaq, however, didn't take those remarks lightly at all. In a later interview with Sports Illustrated, he responded with a sharp and dismissive message toward Durant, making it clear he didn't consider him part of the same category of all-time greats, escalating their public tension even further.
I did the same thing as KD did.
The debate around Kevin Durant, and his place in the GOAT discussion intensified after Shaquille O'Neal firmly dismissed the idea of him belonging in that elite category, instead placing him in a tier of extremely talented players who still fall short of the very top historical legends. The criticism tied into a much longer history between players and eras, where Durant has been compared to names like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, and John Stockton, all Hall of Fame level figures who are still often labeled as missing that final championship-defining edge. Shaq's perspective is also shaped by mentorship he once received from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who emphasized that greatness is defined by championships rather than just statistics, a lesson Shaq later validated through his own 4-title career built across the Orlando Magic, Los Angeles Lakers, and Miami Heat. Meanwhile, Durant's journey has been constantly re-evaluated, especially after his time with the Oklahoma City Thunder, where a 3-1 collapse against the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals changed the direction of his career and eventually led to his controversial move to that same Warriors team, a decision that delivered championships but also reshaped how his legacy is judged. Even inside those Warriors runs alongside Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, critics argue the system carried shared responsibility, while outside that environment his later stops, including Brooklyn and Phoenix, have not produced the same success. Public exchanges have added fuel too, including social media clashes involving Shaq, Durant, and commentary referenced through outlets like Sports Illustrated. with Shaq repeatedly emphasizing the idea of a bus driver role as the true marker of leadership, arguing that Durant has yet to fully prove he can carry a team from start to finish without an already established structure. While Durant's scoring ability, efficiency, and championship resume remain undeniable, the ongoing debate ultimately centers on leadership, context, and whether he can still deliver one defining run as the unquestioned main force that would permanently settle his place among the very greatest.